What is up, folks? It is Whiskey Wednesday night. Welcome in. It is the Mash and Drum Whiskey Room here on a Whiskey Wednesday night. Thanks for coming in, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am Jason C. Welcome to YouTube/the Mash and Drum. As we, it's a night. It's a night of second chances tonight. Bourbons and whiskeys that I haven't really, I haven't really enjoyed when I reviewed them. Thought they could have been better. But tonight is their shot at redemption. Tonight is the night that I pour them again, and they have another chance to impress me. Have they gotten better? Have they opened up? You know, this is the true test of if a whiskey, can get a little bit better over time. I certainly believe that can definitely happen. Case in point, this Little Book Chapter 6, which I will get into in a little bit. It's still, I have some thoughts on that one, but we'll try that a little bit later. Welcome in, guys. Again, thanks for hanging out. You're probably wondering, why is this guy wearing his Atlanta Falcons hat when they just blew another fourth quarter lead over the weekend? Well, it's because I'm a loyal fan, and loyal fans can they don't care if they get heartbroken, because that's what makes them loyal. Case in point, watching the Mets lately, as instead of collapsing after the end of the All-Star break, they've just going to collapse with about 30 games left and lose to all the bottom feeders and their lead in the NL East. So, yeah, that's been my week in sports. Hope your guys' week in sports was better. Let's say hi to everybody in the chat. What is going on? Let's see here. Richie. Oh, that's Richie Z already. What's up, Richie Z? Cameron Lochner here. 3 Whiskey Tube channels going on at the same time. We have ADHD Whiskey and the Grease over on the podcast tonight. Bourbon Pursuit, which I'm, coincidentally sporting their shirt. They're live right now. Kenneth Rathburn is here. What's going on? He says Masters Keep One definitely benefits after being open in Snow Revival. Cornerstone, but I'll take it over decades. That's a bold statement. I love decades. Ham Turkey Can't Wait. Love giving about some airtime. Hey, that's me. Justin Jenkins is here. What is going on? CPMC Dona, what's going on? Tim, looking gorgeous as usual. Ryan O is here. That's me again. Ed Williams, happy hump day. Jason Coates, Doppelganger, what is going on? The other Jason C. Karen Ford, nice to see you. Big Vic, Backyard Bullshit Barbecue. What's going on, man? William Wiley's in the house. What's going on, bud? James Taylor's here. EJ and his beautiful picture of Lily, his bulldog. Let's see here. Duke McHale's here. What is going on? James R. Valentovich, Guitar Hawk in the house. Cheers. What's going on? Christopher David is here. What's going on, Chris? Old Man Joe Dunny's here. Danny Lynn. What is going on, bud? Ben Hernandez. Ricardo Carroll. Rare character drew the short story for this evening forward. Cheers. Andrew Bergstrom. Got the Hooten Young 15 barrel proof in the glass tonight. Let me know if you want me to send your way for review, Jason. I have the Hooten Young, what is it, the 12-year, or is it the 15-year, but it's not the barrel proof. I mean, it's light whiskey. I don't know if the barrel proof is anything different, but it's hard not to like what Hooten Young is doing. It's some old military vets getting together and putting that brand together. So it's hard to give them crap, but nice big age statement, light whiskey. Wish them all the best. I'll probably review them and just kind of tell their story at some point here. Those wine guys here. What's going on? Jim M. I like second chances. Don't have any. I've seen the photo yet. Hope the Redbreast pulls through. We'll see. Todd Pulaski's here. Time for Dram is here. Jerry Klein, Adam Hinson, JG, Jeff Perkins, Ryan. I think I said hi. Whiskey Juice is here. Some more people coming into the chat. Shane Hostetler's here. Thank you, Shane. Shane helped me get this bottle. Appreciate it, bud. The Average Drinker's here. What's going on, Dara? How are you? Everybody subscribe to The Average Drinker. Also subscribe to Big Vic's Backyard BS if you have not yet. What's up, WJK? Nice to see you, man. JG is over here. Whiskey Cheers. Coleman Stoll. Carlito Classico in the house. What's going on? Let's see. Oh, there he is. There's Richie Z. What's going on, bud? Legend. Honest Charlie's here. From Waldo, Ohio. Nice. Nimrax is here. What's going on, Whiskey Tube people? Z-Man in the house, and a bunch of other people coming in. Sunday Evening Scotch, I see. Let's see. Joe, the sample guy in the house. Chris Buzalencia, Blind Squirrel. Alico Classic. Oh, it's got the Italian flag out. Cheers. Let's see here. Topper Dram. Shame you didn't make it to Austin. Was hoping to chop it up with you in the vault. Oh yeah, maybe next time. I really thought it was going to be in October, and I was kind of all set to go, but I couldn't make September happen. Just too crazy right now, unfortunately. Bourbon on the Bayou in the house. What's going on? Darrell Stewart's here. Donald Rants. What is going on? You got a quick break at work. You've been working like crazy, man. Got to see you. Let's see here. If the Mets could stop losing to the Cubs, that would be great. Yeah, I concur, Harrison. I wish they really would. Seriously. I mean, shit. Killing me. Love these revisits. Hey, oh, weird audio coming in. That's not good. Let's see here. Get this thing pulled out again. Let's see. Mic check. How does that sound, guys? That sound a little bit better? Let me know in the chat if that sounds a little better. A Falcons and the Mets fan, good Lord, that's some devastation. Yeah, it's a lot of devastation. A lot of devastation. Yeah, every time with the Mets, they're playing like shit. They're losing. Let me go back to the bottom of the chat here. Better, audio's fixed, way better, much better. Good to hear. Sounds great. Sounded good, bro. All right. Let's get into this. Little Book, Chapter 6, the newest storytelling chapter in Freddie No's history of doing some blending and playing with some different liquid streams, as he likes to call it. This one is a little bit different because it's got not only some crazy amount of wood finishes to it, barrel finishes and wood smoke finishes, but it's also got some really young whiskey in it. So let me break it down. I actually pulled some images. So if you guys haven't heard what's in this batch quite yet, here is the tag. So as you see, we have a 4-year straight malt whiskey finished with cherry wood staves, a 4-year straight malt whiskey with applewood smoked barrels, and then a 4-year straight malt whiskey finished in hickory smoked barrels, a 4-year straight malt whiskey finished with maplewood staves, and then to finish it off, you have a 5-year Kentucky straight bourbon. So you have all these things in place here that make up this whiskey. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff going on in here. So, and I like just the finish. It just says bright finish with robust mouthfeel and welcoming sweetness. I mean, you could say that about anything. Honestly. Top Shelf does. I respect Little Book for disclosing all that, given it sounds horrible. Yeah, I mean, so this was based, or I should say that the inspiration for this was Freddie No's love of cooking and smoking meats. So he wanted to basically take some malt whiskey, some young malt whiskeys that he personally crafted himself. He's the one that made these malt whiskeys, which kind of makes sense why they're on the young side of the equation. And wanted to use these different wood smokes and mingle them together to see what would happen. And then on top of that, he just added a 5-year-old, straight bourbon to the mix. So $125. If you read the website, it says that whiskey drinkers that are early on in their whiskey drinking journey, and connoisseurs, people that are a little bit more advanced, as well as everyone in between, could enjoy this. It's approachable. It's a nice whiskey. Now, I'm wondering if maybe the Basil Hayden subtle smoke had some sort of maybe that and this together. There was some correlation there. Maybe one inspired the other. But let's see. So on the nose, you definitely get the smoke. I mean, the smoke is there. It's sweet. I get smoked apple, and I get like pecan chips, like wood chips. I don't know if it's pecan or cedar. Yeah, but there's like a distinct, like, wood chip on fire type scent I'm getting. You ever guys use one of like those smokers to like smoke a Manhattan or smoke a like an old fashioned or something like that? So you put the wood chips in and then you kind of fire the smoke into your drink. It smells like that. It smells like those wood chips being lit on fire. I mean, it's kind of hard to get past the smoke, but I don't want anyone to think this is like a peated whiskey type smoke profile that you're getting. It's a little bit more of a wood smoke, a barbecue smoke, which is basically what he was going for. Yeah, why you guys? Who is Freddie No? Freddie No is Fred No's son, who just got named the what is he, the fifth or sixth master distiller in Jim Beam history. He's also the great great grandson of Jim Beam. So, well, Fred No is. Save my smoke for meats, leave it out of my bourbon. All right, let's give this guys a try. I want to say thanks for everybody that's been watching. Thanks for hanging out tonight on this Whiskey Wednesday. Cheers. Here we go. You know what? The first couple sips I took of this. So I have a review coming out for this in the not too. I think tomorrow I'm going to be dropping it. Either tomorrow or Friday. Be dropping the review. And when I first tried it, I was like, oh, okay, I get the smoke. I could see where he was going. There's definitely like a barbecue aspect to it. I'm getting like a ton of apple in it. I don't get a lot of uh, that beamy nuttiness to it. There's definitely like a cereal malty quality to it from that malt whiskey that's in it. A little bit of like a toast profile to it, like a burnt toast. Maybe the slightest hint of chocolate, but it gets so overtaken by the smoke, it's really hard to kind of wrap your head around it. But the more sips you take of this, now this is 117.4 proof, and I mean it drinks like this could be like a 95 to 100 proof whiskey. That's how like easy sipping it is. So if they were going for making it approachable, I think they certainly nail that aspect of it. But it's just I like the front of the palate. I like most of the mid palate, but 3/4 of the palate, like once it hits like the back half of your tongue and then the finish, something funky happens, at least for me. It just goes into a bitter, not so great tasting, smoky way. It's hard to discern like exactly what it is because I don't know if it's definitely a bitterness. I think that's probably the best way I could describe it. But the smoke seems to come together in the front of the palate, and then as soon as it hits the back of the palate, I don't know, something funky happens. But it also sips kind of thin. It doesn't really hold on to your palate at all. I mean, it kind of shoots right through. Yeah, it's just this to me is not. I wouldn't say it's bad, but I would not say that this is not a you know if I'm doing a full review here and I have to say, is it a recommend, yes or no? This for me would be a distinct no, because I don't think it's worth near the price that they're asking for it. And I think that kind of coincides with what they said in the press release, being an approachable whiskey, um, experimental. To me, that's kind of a contradictory type thing to do to folks, to consumers. I don't feel like you can ask them to pay $125 a premium price because it's you're throwing it in the little book bottle, which is kind of an experimental series, and on top of that, you're using extremely young whiskey on top of it. Now, if you subscribe to, I kind of like to base the prices on like kind of like the year that the whiskey is. So, in today's market, 4-year-old whiskey should be like around $10 every year the whiskey has aged. So this to me is a $40 to $50 bourbon, or 40 to 50. I'm sorry, $40 to $50 whiskey. It's not a bourbon. So, I mean, in that case, I mean, I can't, like, I couldn't recommend this. And even if you were interested in collecting them all and drinking them, or if you're just interested in it, this is more of it's definitely a try before you buy, before you get it. Because I think people will have different reactions to the smoke flavor that's in it. For some people, I think it'll be a little sweet. For some people, I think it'll be maybe harsh. For me, I don't mind it, but it's extremely light and the finish is getting bitter. So that's really my take on the little book. I I don't know what's going on with Jim Beam, like charging uber amounts of money for like these 2 to 3-year-old or 4-year-old products. I'm not sure what they're going for, Beam Suntory, with this, because it just doesn't make sense to me. It's almost like they're saying, this is so special. We're releasing it at 2 years old and 3 years old and 4 years old, but it's so damn good. We're gonna ask you to pay a premium for it. And honestly, that's just not the case. Yeah, there's something weird on the very back end of this that's not. It's almost like licking like a piece of wood. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, 125, weird wood smoke. Jason Coates, I see what you're saying. Eh, I mean, for half the price, again, a Knob Creek 12-year at 100 proof, which is way better than this. I mean, these little book, I could appreciate what Freddie Noah is doing with the experimentation and doing different things. But if you're going to do that, don't ask folks to pay a premium price for it. Don't, put it in a, like what, guy, I don't think I ever really bring up Woodford Reserve and what they do. Like Woodford Reserve does these experimental, toasted profiles or double barreled or bottled and bond, and they'll throw them in a small bottle and charge you 40 to 50 bucks for it to try it. And I think that's what shit like this needs to be. It should not be a premium bourbon. This needs to be what Little Book Chapter 3 was. High age, barrel proof, in your face, a blend of all the small batch variants from Jim Beam. Make that blend delicious, throw it in a bottle, and then charge 120 bucks for it. And it will be talked about as one of the most upcoming, everyone's like just salivating for that release every single year. You could do that every year and I'll be happy. Honestly, just like a different blend each year of all the small batch releases in this bottle. Bring that out every single year, but change the blend up a little bit. I would still line up to get this bottle. But this is an experiment. And you don't charge 125 bucks for an experiment, and an experiment on top of extremely young whiskey. Rant over. All right, I'm going to move this shit aside. All right. Go on, Jason. I love Jason C. rant, regardless of which Jason C. Right? Come on. Chapter 3 fucking rocked, right? Chapter 3 was delicious. They could make that every single year and I'd buy it. They would make that every single year and I'd buy it. Would love to see more distilleries listen to what their fans want. Bourbon drinkers will drink the core products, but your premium offering should go towards what enthusiasts want. That statement could not sum up more what I've been feeling about a lot of the recent releases coming out, just from everybody. It's it's like this thing where I don't know if they're doing it on purpose, or is it just happens to be the way things are going. It's almost, I feel like distilleries with these limited releases are putting out whiskey that's mediocre because they know it'll just sell no matter what they do. Is it a matter of not caring? Are they shifting their profile elsewhere? Is it becoming a little bit easier to drink for everyone? Is it a universal thing? I don't really think that's happening. That'd be a lot to surmise just from, every single distillery would have to be in on something like that, which I don't think is the case at all. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like the folks that are doing great limited releases still, for the most part, you have Heaven Hill that's doing it. Four Roses really only puts out what, one limited release a year, and that thing is always a hitter. You know, Buffalo Trace puts out, you know, it really doesn't matter what they do because you can never get your hands on it anyway. I feel like Jim Beam is doing a lot of this special release shit, and a lot of it is young whiskey, and they're charging a premium for it. And I just, you know, I really can't respect them for that. Amen, brothers and enthusiasts. I want to try as much as I can, and I'll pay a premium price for something that's experimental. Yeah, I think that's really the thing. You tried the Smoke Wagon Experimental Rye. Young Pei Chang, what's going on, brother? I have not yet. Have not yet. What about Castle and Key? A second chance. I flushed mine. I didn't mind the Castle and Key. I mean, it wasn't spectacular, but I didn't find it bad. Little Book 6 has just said FEO train. Hey, what's up, Mark Vasco? Hey, Jason. Hey, peeps. And yeah, you can experiment, but make the value match the content. Exactly. That's all we want. Bourbon Bill, Little Book Chapter 6, winning worst value in bourbon for 2022. Hands down, could not agree more, Bourbon Bill. Little Book 1 and 3 were all pretty good, and then the quality just went downhill. Yeah, Top Shelf Dustin, I couldn't agree more. The book, his little book is getting worse as it gets down the line. Like I said, I could respect what he's doing and the different types of experiments that he's conducting, but don't charge us a premium for it just because it's in your Little Book series. Your Little Book series should be, you know, high potent whiskey. It should, like I said, it should be geared towards whiskey enthusiasts, not people just coming into bourbon. If you want people just coming into bourbon, that's what you have Basil Hayden for. If you want people that are just coming into bourbon to try, that's what also bothered me. This is great for the person that hasn't, you know, really had a barrel proof whiskey or, you know, something that's really approachable. That's what you have Basil Hayden subtle smoke for. Don't put it in my Little Book bottle. You make Little Book for the folks that are willing to spend that type of money for a fucking beast of a whiskey. You want someone to approach a smoky whiskey, have them drink subtle smoke. Yeah, chapter 3 is freaking delicious. I think I still have it up there somewhere. I have more of it somewhere. Shit. Eric Desmarius, what is going on, buddy? Nice to see you as well. Hit the rant button. I mean the like button. Bourbon Wrench, what's up? The problem is people like Freddie realize that adding or experiment means limited, and limited equals money. In other words, they're taking advantage and reaping all the profits. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think on the face of it, Trev, that's it. But I think there's more to it, you know, than that. I think, you know, deep down, you know, folks are truly trying to make something that's unique and delicious and whatever. I think the marketing people are the ones that are like, well, you know, he's working on this. We could charge a premium for it. And I think that's where, you know, that's where I think the disconnect can be. I don't always want to blame the distiller for doing it because they have marketing people and salespeople and they like to set the price. But I do think in some way that Freddie should be like, okay, I don't know if I would want to put this in my Little Book series because it started off like such a really cool, even though it was experimental, there was some high age, high proof, really just really good potent stuff in it. And it's just kind of, as Top Shelf Dustin said, the last 3 have just kind of, you know, gone downhill a little bit. All right. I do think Freddie's trying to push the limits, but just make it a different lineup altogether then. I mean, that's what I mean. I don't mind him pushing the limits, but just make your experiments more affordable. Don't put it in Little Book. That's all I'm saying. All right. What do we got here? So a couple bottles to check out here. New bottles to check out. So Heaven's Door 10-year. This popped up at the store not too long ago. So if you guys don't know Heaven's Door, this is Bob Dylan's brand. Knock, knock, knocking on Heaven's Door. I don't know if I have a Bob Dylan America. I don't know if I have a Bob Dylan impression. Like a Rolling Stone. I don't know how to do Bob Dylan. Sounds like a car horn. I wanted to create a collection of American whiskeys that in their own way tells a story with over 20% rye in the mash bill and non-charcoal mellowed. So this is non-charcoal mellowed. This bourbon is unlike anything you have ever tasted from Tennessee before. Distilled in Tennessee, bottled by Heaven's Door Spirits, Memphis, Tennessee. So interesting mash bill on this one. 100 proof, nice 10-year age statement on that. Tennessee whiskey. I don't think I nailed it. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, another Dickel bottle. So, Tom, I mean, is this Dickel? Because Dickel's not that high in rye. So saying it's 20% over, with over 20% rye in the mash bill. I don't know if that's I don't know. I mean, he could have contract distilled it, or I'm not sure. It could be from that other distillery in Tennessee. But I don't know. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, maybe OZ Tyler. I don't think it's Dickel, honestly. It certainly doesn't smell like Dickel. You don't have that minerality to it. It's a little bit sweeter. I mean, it's very heavy caramel. I mean, if anything, it's got a lot of caramel going on it, going for it. Yeah, let me see if I can pull up some. Let's see. The Mets still losing. The Mets scored another run. It's 6-2. Good job. Good job, guys. Way to squeeze out 2 fucking runs. Jerks. Playing like shit. Pissing me off. Okay, let's see here. So this is, let's see here, 10 years, approximately actually 11 and a half years, according to Master Blender Ryan Perry. Undisclosed low rye, according to Master Blender Ryan Perry. Undisclosed Tennessee Distillery. So let's see here. I mean, 10 years a nice. I mean, it's a nice. Actually, I don't think that's not even the same bottle. That's a different bottle. Where's the new one here? There it is. All right, this is the. I'm sorry, this is part of the Decade series, not the regular 10-year. That's the difference in here. The Decade series is a limited collection of super premium American whiskeys, each 10 years age or older. This is a high rye, 10-year-old straight bourbon whiskey. Let's see, 100 proof. This release is neither chill filtered nor charcoal mellowed, which is kind of nice. Let's see, yeah, 100 proof. Yeah, absolutely no information on the distillery here, but it is sweet. I get honey, I get toffee, I get orange peel, almost like one of those spiced orange honey teas that you can get. But man, it's a lot of butterscotch and toffee. All right, 100 proof, not bad. Let's give it a go. This, I believe, was 70 or 80 bucks for this bottle. So let's see. Yeah, Kenneth, I think that's where it's from. I think it's from Tennessee Distilling Ltd., which is not Dickel. I think people try to, think that's the same thing. It's not. So let's try this one. Hey, that's not half bad. I usually have pretty low expectations when trying Heaven's Door. I don't really think I've had anything that's really blown me away. It's been a while. But that's not half bad. It's got a nice little punch of oak, little sweetness to balance it out. That was the first sip, though. But that's pretty good coming off Little Book to come to that and still provide that type of flavor. Hey, guys, this is not half bad. I gotta say, this is It's got some spice to it. You definitely get the high rye. It's got a nice little lingering spice to it. Man, it's got all the toffee you want in the world. Maybe a little hint of toasted marshmallow too. Definitely runs on the sweeter side, even though it's got that spice to it. But I kind of like the balance. I kind of like the balance of the sweet and the spice. Shit. What's happening? What is happening right now? How does it stack up to Dickel Bottle and Bond 13-year and hella good? I mean, it's got none of those, the George Dickel. I mean, it's like night and day. It's got none of those George Dickel aspects to it. ABV on this one is 100 proof, so 50% ABV. I wasn't a fan of the Heaven's Door Double Barrel. It was the highest, lightest color I've ever seen, but may have to try this one if I see it. Hey, what's up, Robert Shea? The only thing under 105 proof that has truly impressed me lately is Michter's 10 Rye. Well, yeah, that one is going to definitely impress DJ D Jonesy. This or Templeton 10 for $10 more. Probably Templeton 10. Yeah, when the whiskey doesn't suck like you thought it would. Hey, look at this. That's kind of what happened here. It's just like it's kind of surprising. I mean, it's not a mind-blowing whiskey, but I mean, how much does that help though when you go in with low expectations and you're kind of pleasantly surprised? You underpromise and you overdeliver. Kind of a great motto. Listen, it doesn't have the flavor punch that you want every sip, but what I can tell you, it actually offers a nice balance to it. The one thing I'll say though, for a $80 product, I don't like it. I think this would be, to me, this sip's more like a $50 to $60 product, but you know, Bob Dylan, you throw the Decade series on it, it's gonna command a higher price. You know, I would really like this one if it was maybe $30 cheaper. It's okay. I'll tell you what though, this has more consistent flavor from sip to sip than a lot of bourbons I've had recently. At least this brings some spice. This brings, remember, it's non-chill filtered. There's a little bit of heft to it. You know, it's not bad. It's at $80, I think it's a little bit high. If this was a $40 to $50 bottle, I'd be all over this. But I mean, it's a little bit pricey for what it is. Because you know, you take this bottle, you still got to go against, you know, the Knob Creek 12 years, the rare breeds, even the Elijah Craig barrel proofs of the world, you know. And now, I mean, all those crush this, but you know, for a Heaven's Door, I'll say this is probably the best Heaven's Door I've had. So if you're a fan of Heaven's Door and Bob Dylan, and you want another bottle to add in your collection, this one is actually pretty nice. I dig that bottle. I don't like that I paid $80 for it though. Don't like that I paid $80 for it. Mash and Drum, throw up a poll. Does Jephthah Creed deserve a second chance? You know what? This is what I'll do. Next time I go to Kentucky, I'm going to buy a bottle of the latest batch of Jephthah Creed. I just want to see if it's improved. I think I've said that before, but every time I see it, I get scared. I have like PTSD from Jephthah Creed. But I'm willing to try it again. And Trev Wilson, if you're watching, Mr. Bourbon Wrench, I'm going to open it. I'm going to send you a sample, and I'll have you come on. We can try it together to see if it's gotten better. Because I think they're up to like batch 5, 6, 7, whatever it may be. They're kind of further on into their batch numbers, and I'm curious if it's gotten better than that first batch that was just so bad. Yeah, everything. Don't knock on my Jeppson's bourbon. No, not Jeppson's. Not Jeppson's, Emmanuel. Jephthah Creed. Jephthah Creed is the name of the brand. Mash and Drum, you be at Kentucky Bourbon Festival. I'm trying to work out getting down there, but I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. Just, you know what? These things, like, just life happens and these things, like, sneak up on you. And then it's like, oh, shit, like, it's coming up, like, next weekend. I'm going to try. I'm going to try. I liked the 15-year Hardin's Creek. I thought that was really good. The 15-year, I thought, with the 15 year is a blend of 15 and 16. And I believe the 15-year is a high rye. And it's really good. So I really enjoyed that bourbon. Which do you think is better, the Heaven's Door 10 or the Jack Daniel's 10? Let's find out. I actually just found a little left of the Jack Daniel's 10 here. There it is. Ask and you shall receive, Mr. William Wiley. Just for that, everybody hit that like button, please. Hit the like button. We're going to do a quick comparison here. Jack Daniel's 10 versus Heaven's Door 10. Now, this puppy was going on sale for like, geez, how much was it selling for? $250, $300, like crazy, stupid prices for the Jack Daniel's 10. What's up, Independent Joe? Nice to see you. Black Bourbon Family's here. Ready to drink up casually. Second Chance Series starting with Malort. All right, let's go to the nose. The one thing that I really loved about the Jack Daniel's 10 was how fruit forward it was for a Jack Daniel's, especially kind of the standard Jack Daniel's, but a 10-year-old version of this had a lot of dark fruit to it. Absolutely loved it. And I still get some of that red fruit, like red apple. I get red apple. Then on top of that, there's a little bit of like this black cherry note that I get in this that I really love. Good oak profile here compared to the Heaven's Door. The Heaven's Door is just brighter and sweeter. It's a little bit more on the toffee orange side than the oak dark fruit side. If I had to pick a nose, I'd probably go with the Jack Daniel's 10. Jack Daniel's 10-year is 97 proof. So the Heaven's Door actually has 3 more proof points on it. Bob Dylan is like writing a song right now. Got 3 more points on you, Jack Daniel. All right. Let's try the Jack Daniel's 10-year. The Jack Daniel's 10-year is darker, definitely more oak forward. A lot of that oak really kind of permeated into that whiskey. There's a lot of oak profile to it, a little bit of chocolate. The dark fruit is still there. And of course, it rounds out with the banana. A little bit of a banana nut bread on the back end of that. The Heaven's Door is brighter. And even though it's non-chill filtered, I feel like it's a little bit, I don't know if it's lighter on the palate. I think the flavors are just brighter. Again, it's more toffee, more caramel, a little bit of that, like that orange zest, like almost like a tea note. Toffee. I'll tell you what, though, I think I like the palate on the JD10 more, but I'm digging the high rye finish on the Heaven's Door. The Heaven's Door 10 has like that really nice finish to it. Wasn't Jack 10 going to be a regular release for them? Yeah, but like an annual release, I think it's only going to release like 1 time a year. I don't know if it's released yet this year, right? Did this come out this didn't come out this year. This was last year, right? I don't even remember when this thing came out. Then the Heaven's Door. Yeah. I like the flavors of Jack Daniel's 10. I would lean more towards this over the Heaven's Door. But man, I wish this had the Heaven's Door finish. You know what? Let's blend them. Let's see what happens. So Blendageddon, the entries are, I went from like getting a few entries here and there. Now they're pouring in, guys. I'm up to about 25, 24, maybe 26 entries already. It's getting crazy. There's a lot of entries. Everything is more on the American whiskey side. There are only maybe a handful of Frankenstein blends. So we're going to kick off Blendageddon the first week in October. We're going to kick it off with the Frankenstein blends, and then we'll start getting into the American whiskey blends. I'll break down the folks, the brackets. When I send the samples to the other judges that are going to be on with me, everything's going to be blind, so we won't know whose it is until until the end of the episode, until we reveal it. So everybody will find out. Well, no, I'll tell you the names. I'll tell you who's in it, but we won't know whose it is until the very end. So it'll be fun. Young Pei Chang, thank you so much. 10 for 10 years. So Frankenstein blends, I think there are only maybe 5 or 6, but I think there's a couple more on the way. Jason, you get a Chateau too? If so, review. Yeah, as soon as I get it, I'm working on getting one, Michael. As soon as I get it, you will see a review for sure. HD10 blends well. We'll find out here. I love home blending. Let's see here. What I find odd is that nobody around here in Kentucky has ever heard of the YouTube whiskey community. Well, that's probably because they're in Kentucky. I mean, they don't really need to follow anything. It's all there for them. I would think that's why, honestly. So excited for Blendageddon. Dara, where's your blend at? You gonna blend something? No? Let's see, Independent Joe. Don't know if you could see my shirt in the picture, but wore on my last review post today. Cheers, brother. You already made a shirt with that? That's hilarious. I gotta watch that, Independent Joe. Thanks. That's freaking brilliant, man. Yeah, DC, Daniel Carter, the infamous DC, made a baseball card of me on the body of Greg Jeffries from like back in the 80s, one of the 80s Mets teams. Holy shit. Hey, what's up, Who Flung Dung? What's going on? Jeffrey Wack, I just received his blend last weekend. Met up with Jeffrey, a couple of bourbon friends. Averaging says, I'm here for the judging. All right, Dara, you could help judge. My phone recognizes Blendageddon as a word, by the way. Well, that's when they know you're a serious blender. Adam Dorman is, let's see here. I saw Cam Drums and Drams in the gift shop getting a Chateau on a local whiskey tuber's video. Damn, Cam, does that kid work? Like, how does it? He's always in Kentucky. It's crazy. Big Vic's American blend is, yeah. Big Vic has an American blend and a Frankenstein blend in the mix. So what's up, 21090s here? Everybody definitely go check out 21090. Great channel if you love rock music, if you just love beer, and if you love whiskey, go definitely check them out. Darrell Stewart cannot wait for Blendageddon. Darrell Stewart, a lot of people talking up his blends. I'm telling you, I'm gonna work on this blend right here. And while we're doing that, it is time for a little whiskey news. It's everybody's favorite segment. What's the C at the TTB? Michael Scott. Okay, here we go. So a couple of pretty cool things to not only look out in the future, but also the near future. So releasing very, very soon. We have 2 bottles that I want to talk about, and then we'll get into some labels that are going to be upcoming down the line. So the first one, Kentucky Owl, releasing the Takumi edition. So the Takumi edition, or Takumi, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. It's a Kentucky Owl. It's 100 proof. The price for this bottle will be $150. It's releasing next month, October 2022. Non-age stated. It's a straight bourbon, and all you need to know about it is that it's a bourbon comprised of bourbons aged 4, 5, 6, and 13 years old. It is the result of a collection of bourbon samples selected by Kentucky Owl master blender John Rea that were sent to Nagahama Distillery master blender Yasuki Yahisha, probably butchered that name, I'm sorry, to Mr. Yasuki, who then chose the components of the blend with the intent of showing bourbon through the eyes of Japanese whiskey. Japanese whiskey, Takumi, means master in Japanese. So that will be, I mean, it's not the first time we've seen American and Japanese whiskey makers collaborate. As you guys know, you did have the Legent, bottle that was brought out by Fred No from Jim Beam. So this should be an interesting. Now, it's weird. It doesn't really say anything about. I don't think there's any components of it that's in it that's comprised of a Japanese whiskey. It's just saying that it's a Japanese whiskey maker actually blended it. So should be interesting. Let's see what you guys are saying about this one. I don't think I nailed it, Scotty. I don't think I nailed it. Hope it's better than the St. Patrick's blend. Yeah, I'm with you. Emmanuel says I'll take the Malort. Kentucky Owl really going after it anymore, and it seems to be lacking direction. I agree. Cohen, I also agree. I think that brand kind of, it's like when Stoley took over and then Dixon Dedman left. I'm just not sure where they're going with their offerings. It's just, I think people are kind of caught on. It's just not the same as it was, and that kind of sucks. Marianne Eve / Dr. Black Steel Bourbon label in there. I don't think I saw that one, Michael. Let me look. Next up is, where is the next one here that I pulled up? We already spoke about Little Book. The next one was actually the Bottled and Bond, the next Bottled and Bond version of the, actually, let me see, is it in here? Still have it on my computer. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay, sorry guys. Let me grab this one real quick. So this is somebody had brought it up earlier, which was the latest Dickel Bottle and Bond. It looks like they're going to be bringing out another 13-year offering of the George Dickel Bottle and Bond whiskey, and here it is. So nothing really has changed with the label. The only really way to see which year is what is to look at that side of the label there where it says distilling season, fall, and then it gives you the year. That's really the only way you could kind of figure out what year is the release. So 13 years old, 100 proof, still an amazing, amazing affordable price, $45. Select markets nationwide. So this is, let's see here. The inaugural release in the series was a 13-year-old, and looks like they're bringing it back. Now, the 13-year-old, I could argue, was pretty, what's the word? Dickly? That sounds fucking awful, but you guys know what I mean. It had all the minerality, all the, like the oak, the heavy cinnamon. It was very Dickel forward. The 11-year, I think, was more of an approachable bottled and bond that everybody universally loved. For the most part, I shouldn't say everyone universally. I should just say more people love the 11-year than the 13-year. Then as the other releases have come out, it seems it's still always been a great affordable release. Whether you like Dickel or not, I think bringing out something with that high of an age statement and keeping it at retail under $50 is, I don't care who you are. That's something that should be applauded, every single day of the week. So, I always love those releases. So that's great. The Wolf of Bourbon Street. What's going on, bud? Let's see here. Enrico, a little late to the party. Did you do the review yet? I did review the Little Book. So just basically don't buy it. Don't buy it. That's all I'll say. Hey Jason, what's your pick? Michter's Barrel Strength Rye or Stellum Black Rye Fibonacci blend? Oh, that's a good one. I would probably still have to go with the Michter's just because I just love that profile. It's actually funny that you bring that up, Whiskey Juice, because we have another couple of blends that's going to be brought out from Stellum. The first one here is this rye, which is a cask strength blend. This savory and delicate rye blend is defined by notes of dried herbs and pine with a hint of salty air salinity. It's named for one of the world's most famous trees found on the picturesque coast of the Monterey Peninsula. I think it's called like single cypress or something like that, or lone cypress. It's like the lone cypress blend. And then they're going to be bringing out a bourbon variant of it, a cask strength blend of bourbon whiskeys. And this one's going to be called Hunter's Moon. So this is a warm oak-driven bourbon made in preparation for winter, inspired by the Hunter's Moon of October. High rye spice and robust woodiness meant for the time of year when days get shorter and nights get longer. I love barrel craft spirits. I love Stellum. I don't understand these higher priced releases though from Stellum. Stellum was always meant to be like the more budget variant of barrel craft spirits in their blends. So why are you now blending these higher age, higher price special blends for Stellum and putting them at $100, price point, just like your barrel craft spirit blends, which contain the same whiskey, to use a Freddie No term, liquid streams, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, blended together in this bottle. Why not put that in barrel? Why are you doing it with Stellum? Are you just trying to spread the wealth? Do you have too much whiskey to deal with? So you're just spreading it across different labels? I just don't understand the tactics there. I think there's a question there that I need to ask probably Joe Beatrice if he's watching. Joe, why the same different variants of why the three same whiskey streams in those blends when Stellum was supposed to be the cheaper variant of what you're doing with the barrel blends? Just a question. Just want to know. I think it's worth exploring. I'm not really sure. Barrel is about to go much higher price. You heard it here first. Okay. Master, that's exactly what I was saying last night. Makes no sense. Yeah, I don't understand it. I mean, maybe it's just because like I said, maybe they just see the money in it and they just want to put out more whiskey and make more money. I mean, that's usually what the exact goal is. So, let's see here. Are there different master blenders responsible for different product lines that they're letting multiple people play in the sandbox? As far as Stellum goes, no. I mean, I think they have their master blender. He pretty much blends everything, but there are multiple people that are involved in making those blends as well. But yeah, I think it's just I'm not really sure. Stellum lines are shot traditional flavored bourbon, and the barrel craft are experiments and non-traditional characteristics. Well, that's not exactly true, Paul, because you can make the argument that seagrass and dovetail and and some of the others are, but when you're talking about like just the barrel bourbons, batch 33 is fantastic, by the way. But like these, actually, is this the? Oh yeah, here we go. There's one right here. I love when whiskey is just like right here for me to grab. This is batch 33 of barrel bourbon, which is delicious. And what is it? It is a blend of Indiana, Tennessee, and Kentucky whiskey. I think the youngest whiskey in here is 5 years, but there's some older age whiskey in here, going up to I think there's a 9 or 10 year something in this blend. I mean, this is what Stellum is doing now. So why isn't, what makes this different than Stellum? Now, if you want to make the case that this, like I said, the whatchamacallit, the seagrass, the dovetails, this bottle right here, the Vantage, yeah, those are all experimental and different. But this and what they're doing with Stellum, it's kind of the same thing. So I'm not really sure what the difference is. So that's my question. Let's see here. Simple, more channels to market. Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Yeah, that batch 33, Larry Owens, is really good. All right, let's try the Heaven's Door Jack Daniels. Have I just been sipping this and not realizing it? That blend works. It actually did exactly what I was hoping for. I get all the Jack Daniels on the front palate, and I get all the spice on the back palate. That's very weird when a blend actually works out the way you maybe saw it in your mind. But that's exactly what that is. That's a great blend. All right, let's go to the next one here. Who's ready for this, baby? Who's ready for this one? Heaven Hill Heritage Collection, 20-year corn whiskey, cast strength, 115 proof. That's right. You guys know what that is. That's 20-year-old mellow corn right there. Here's the mash bill. 80% corn, 8% rye, 12% malted barley. This is amazing. From the Bernheim Distillery. It'll be released this year. I mean, now it is a small batch. So being that it's a small batch, the youngest whiskey in that bottle is 20 years. There could be some older whiskey batched in there too. If it was a single barrel, it'd be a different story. But you're looking at a small batch product. 20 years has to be the youngest based on the age statement. So that means there could be some older whiskey, some old Kentucky straight corn whiskey in there. Anybody excited for that one? Let's see here. Heaven Hill 20, yes, please. Never see it, but still want it. Darrell Stewart says, nope. Mellow Corn 20-year, let's go. Todd Ritter, what's going on, man? Come on, Todd. Everyone's asking me about the Chateau de la Baude. Did you find me a bottle yet? I need one. I need one. Drums and Drams got it first already. I need to have it. This Bardstown Chateau de la Baude number 2 is a silky coating with incredible flavor. Only knock is finished, does not last as long as I would like. Okay, that's a solid review, Wise Guy Whiskey Guy. Joseph Browsers, how am I after the first an hour? Did you get demonetized or something? No, I think people are just not everyone has to super chat all the time. But I appreciate you, Joseph. You and Cohen are my lone you and Cohen are my lone super chatters tonight. I appreciate you. That Heaven Hill 20-year will only be over $1,000. Yeah, well, judging by what their usual offerings are from those of those releases, they're usually about $200, $250 generally. Now I'll stick to Corn on the Cob. The H817 is actually in the running for my bourbon of the year right now. That bottle is fucking delicious. It is, and it sucks because it's super allocated, it's expensive, it's hard to get, and it's awesome. It's an awesome bourbon. $100 mellow corn, pass. If you only knew someone who worked for them, call me tomorrow. Yeah, Ron, man, I need one fast. I know just how a lot of work stuff going on coaching 4 to 5-year-olds in soccer. Listen, don't put your listen, Chateau de la Baude is more important than 4 or 5-year-olds playing soccer. I'm only kidding. H817 and Calumet 16. Yeah, I think they'll be up there. H817 kills Calumet 16. It's not even close. Not even close. Let's see here. Who lets corn whiskey age that long? I'm in for it though. I think that's what it is. I think it's like the folks that are curious about what a 20-year-old corn whiskey would taste like. Terrence, this is getting better. I'll revisit this tonight too a little bit. It's getting a little bit better for sure. Bourbon Bill, totally agree. HA17 crushes Calumet 16. It's not even in the same league. It's like Calumet 16 is like the Falcons, where they had, really good team, good promise on Sunday, but, maybe fell flat at the end. Whereas the H817 is like the Buffalo Bills, just fucking kicking ass and taking names. Honestly, surprising we don't see more corn whiskey age that long, but I'm not shelling out the huge price they'll want. Yeah, I think that's going to be the issue. I think people will buy it because they're curious about it, but I don't think that's going to get a lot of traction just because it is a corn whiskey. It's not bourbon. It's a really nice high age statement, but it's corn whiskey. So even at 80% corn, that's going to be really sweet. That might get into a light whiskey type flavor profile where it's just like candy corn and a lot of toffee. I'm sure there'll be some oak in there from a 20-year-old variant, but man, it should be an interesting variant to try. If I ever get to try it, I hope I do. Maybe we'll see. Oh, so 85 bears. That's where you're going with HA17. I don't know about that. Okay, let's go with Chicken Cock is coming out with a double oak. Chicken Cock Double Oak Kentucky whiskey. Looks like it's going to be an 8-year-old variant, produced by Grain and Barrel Spirits, Bardstown, Kentucky. So for Double Oak, we rebarreled our Kentucky whiskey in New American Oak barrels from West Virginia. for an additional year to highlight the importance of our barrels to our whiskey making process. So similar to what Woodford Reserve does with their double oaked variant, which is making it, aging it for almost a full extra year in that extra barrel. It really comes down to that secondary barrel though when you do a double barrel or a toast, because you don't really know, is it toasted then charred? Is it charred? Is it just toasted? All that makes a huge difference when you rebarrel a whiskey, because you're either going to get more vanillin, you're going to get more vanilla, you're going to get some more of the toasted notes, some more of the barrel char. Is it going to be more smoky, more chocolatey? Is it going to get to a 1910 profile? Is it going to go a little bit more marshmallowy, like a toasted profile? So that's why all those double oaks can really have a lot of different flavors to it, depending on what they do with that second barrel. And not what the whiskey does alone, but just what the cooper does to that second barrel on that finish. So speaking of toasted, I got one more new bottle here to try with you guys. And Rye 3. Rye 3 is a company that, I don't know if you guys know too much about Rye 3, but the first Smash and Journey pick ever was a Rye 3 proprietary blend. And I still think one of my favorites. So this is going to be a rye whiskey blend, cast strength, toasted barrel finish, 59.8% ABV. I'm always up for toasted. That was kind of a nice segue into trying this blend. This is new. They just sent this to me, so I appreciate it. But you guys know, just because they send it to me doesn't mean I'm going to always give them a good review. I'm kind of tough on toasted whiskeys. Toasted whiskeys are really hit and miss for me. So yeah, Young Pei Cheng, good old Curiata. We had to say goodbye to them, unfortunately. We thought that was going to be a really nice partnership, but unfortunately didn't work out that way. All right. Let's see here. Doesn't really say. So this is char number 1 with a medium plus toast. Medium plus. It's like buying pants when you're a kid and you're a little chubby. Medium. I think this is what I had to buy when I was a little kid. I had to buy medium plus pants because I was a little bit hefty from eating on my grandmother's pasta. So medium plus pants, medium plus toast on this whiskey here. A special blend of 3 phenomenal whiskeys with some medium plus pants on them. It doesn't really say any age on it at all. I'm trying to find some more info on here, but it doesn't really give you a lot. So I'm not sure what the stats are on this, but let's see with those medium plus pants. Yes, Husky. Husky is what it was called, but I'm gonna call it from now on the medium plus toast. Oh shit! Yeah, I have to get them a Husky toasted. Oh yeah, this has all the toastiness. This is all Teddy Grahams, cinnamon Teddy Grahams, chocolate. Some good spice on this. I mean, it is a rye, so it's a rye whiskey blend. I think I like toasted ryes over toasted bourbons. I just think that's where my palate goes, honestly. Something about toasted ryes, I think rye whiskeys work better with a toast than most bourbons do. I think bourbon's already inherently sweet. I don't need to make it any sweeter with a toast. So the Calumet 8 year is so bad. Did anybody watch ADHD Whiskey's Calumet 8 review? It was fucking hilarious. He went off on Calumet 8. If nobody has watched it, you need to watch it. It's amazing. It's an amazing. He prefaces the video with, "I'm really not that angry of a person," but he did not like Calumet 8 to say the least. It was great. Yeah, Matt was absolutely hilarious on the sun. Ooh, I just got kind of a. Ooh, this is like orange marmalade. I mean, there's like citrus and citrus peel. This is a very, very sweet orange, like orange marmalade. Maybe even like, yeah, it's like a sweet lemon, like a lemon custard, lemon curd, maybe like a lemon curd type thing going on. Oh, the nose on this is great. Hopefully, it lives up to it on the palate. Here we go. Wow, that punches. with the rye spice. I like that they didn't let this toast too long. It doesn't seem that way, at least. The medium husky char did not overtake the rye spice. Because even after all these whiskeys I've had tonight, the rye is just really punching through. The second sip is when I'm starting to get like the orange marmalade, the marshmallow, a lot of cinnamon. And then on the back end, it's all rye spice. A little bit of like black peppercorn, a little bit of mint, some candied mint in there as well. Wow. And you know, with these toasted blends, I mean, these definitely need some airtime. So this has potential if it gets down to it, something to be really, really nice. You know, 59.8% ABV. I mean, you're almost at 120. You know, I don't have the pricing on this. I don't know what this is, but if this was like 50 to 60 bucks, that's a nice toasted rye whiskey for sure. I love the proof on it. I love the toast. I love the husky finish. This is good. Rye 3. Nailed it with this one. That's a really nice toasted rye. Again, I just think it's something with toasted rye. I kind of dig it. I like that one. Does it rival his Dickel Tabasco video? I don't know. I think the Dickel, I can literally call it the Tickle Tabasco. The Dickel Tabasco video, I think, is still probably his best, but that Calumet 8 is up there. It's up there. Yeah, I'll have to get some notes on that rye 3 and figure out like what the distribution of that is. That's a nice, like, the spice is still happening, and it's really good. I'm digging that one. All right. Any other requirement for toasted rye to try? I mean, Nulu does a lot of great toasted ryes, but you never know with those. You kind of have to try them before you buy them. Besides Nulu, who's doing a lot of the crafts? There's a lot of like local craft guys doing toasted ryes. I believe Boone County did a toasted rye. I mean, who else? Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of guys that did toasted ryes, just like, you know, smaller distilleries. I'm sure there's some folks in the chat. Did Sagamore do a toasted rye? I mean, they have the double oaked rye, but that's not. Well, I guess you could probably say it's toasted. The Sagamore Double Oaked rye would probably be the. I mean, I love that whiskey. I think it's great. You could find that one. That Sagamore Double Oak is delicious. Sagamore Double Oak versus that rye is the matchup we need. All right, I'll do it. What time is it? Holy shit, it's already 10:11. It's okay. That's actually works because I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only have 6 second chances. Let's grab that double oaked here. Is that it? That's it. All right. So I made a big purchase a couple months ago. I bought myself a Bowflex home workout machine, and I've been using it for the past 2 weeks. I really like it, and I think people kind of get on Bowflex, but it's a nice machine, and I feel like it's definitely paying dividends already. I feel like I look, maybe it's the shirt a little bit, but yeah, I feel like it's definitely I like it. So it's a cool machine. It's really easy to use, and been digging it. All right, Sagamore Spirit Double Oaked. Now, this is only 96.6 proof, so this is going to be a little tough, I think, to stand up to that. But the flavor overall, oh yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, man. All right, the Double Oaked Sagamore Spirit Rye This gets more along the line of what you get from like a Michter's, where it's really on the sweet side. There's a lot of just like toffee, caramel, all that mint. It's like caramel coated mint on this one with a little bit of that pepper. The Rye 3, where is it? The Rye 3 gets into a little bit more of that. This one you get way more like that toasted marshmallow vibe going on it. And again, the cinnamon, the Teddy Grahams, all like that cinnamon Teddy Graham cookie. Yeah, like s'mores basically on this, at least on the nose. But on the palate, I feel like the Rye 3, you get more of the rye whiskey that comes through. Now on the palate for the Double Oak Sagamore, you know what? I still might have to give it to the Sagamore. I don't know. I don't know what it is with the Sagamore. That Sagamore Double Oak just has like another layer of flavor that I'm not getting out of the Rye 3. Let me have one more sip of that one. Mm. There's almost like a dark red fruit that's like in between the layers of rye and like sweet of like in like that double oak. I get this little punch of like dark fruit right in between that I think just sets it apart. Those two bottles look like a Lambo and a Honda Civic side by side. Come on, nobody has a better looking bottle. You know what I'm getting to on the Sagamore? One of my favorite notes in whiskey. One of my favorite notes in whiskey, coffee bean. That's what I get in the Sagamore Double Oaked, and that's probably why it wins for me. That shit is just delicious. I can't. It's ridiculous. You guys know the Sagamore Spirit bottle trick, right? You guys know that one. I think I've done it live before. You guys know about the. You guys know about the. You guys know about that trick? Yeah, Saggy for the win. Totally. I go Saggy. Oh yeah, Smooth Animal just came out with a toasted rye as well. Guys, again, thank you for watching tonight. Mash and Drum. YouTube.com/themashanddrum. Thank you for hanging out tonight. Definitely hit that like button below if you haven't yet. Takes one little quick second to hit that thumbs up. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Sagamore, no, what's the trick? All right, let me show you the bottle trick here. Most people don't know how to do this or don't know about it. Let's see if I get two of the same bottles here. All right, yeah, this one's pretty close. So, because Sagamore, so this is the Sagamore Spirit bottled and bond rye. Now, because it's a diamond shape, if you connect the diamond, it could do that. So if you have two of the same bottle and you connect to, so it has those angles on it, and then you connect the angles on it. Look at it. Look what it does. It actually makes the label, and then it kind of, so you connect it kind of like that, and then it actually connects the labels, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's a stupid little like thing, but it's, I don't know, it's kind of cool. You do it with the back label too, kind of works. So I always thought that was pretty cool with Sagamore. The diamond, like this checkered flag and the diamond pattern is very, you know, it's pretty ubiquitous around Maryland. It's on their state flag, so they incorporate it into all aspects of Sagamore. So you got the diamond shape, the actual bottle. It's pretty cool. I love Sagamore. I'll actually 21090. I gotta let you know. I think I'm going to be out there in October at some point, so I'll let you guys know when I'm there. How does Sagamore compare to Wild Turkey 101 rye? Different profiles. I think Wild Turkey 101 rye is literally like drinking like pure orange Christmas tree. That's really what Wild Turkey 101 rye is. I mean, it's like a creamsicle in a glass with a little bit of mint and some pine. That's really what Wild Turkey, 101 rye is. I think the Sagamore, being a blend of high rye and a lower rye together, gives it a little bit more depth. But it's also more expensive. You can get Wild Turkey 101 rye for like 20 something bucks. Sagamore is still a higher priced. So, to kind of do some 6 action with the next, it says prescription bourbon. Yeah, let's roll, Jason. Yeah, I'll let you guys know, man. Chris Angel, Mind Freak type of shit going on those bottles. I don't know about that. Oh shit. Okay, it's second chance time. It's time for second chances. Actually, really quick before we do that, guys, I do have to call out the latest additions to the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. Big round of applause for, we have a couple of the new inductees into the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. We got this guy. And who is that guy? That's Chad McCoy, a 2-time recipient of the KDA 100 Proof Award for Public Service. He's a champion of several landmark pieces of legislation, including the landmark Bourbon Industry Stimulus Package. He also supported the Kentucky Bourbon Trail experience and is a driving force behind Bardstown's Kentucky Bourbon Trail Welcome Center. So he got in. And then you guys, I don't know if you guys know this guy. You guys may know this guy. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. That is Kaveh Zamanian, founder of Rabbit Hole Distillery. He's been selected as one of the 2022 Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame inductees. Born in Iran, he fled the country during the revolution in 1979, eventually settled in the U.S., founded Rabbit Hole Distillery in 2012, and his whiskey blends, he kind of blends with time-honored methods, diverse perspectives, and modernist aesthetics. His induction to the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame is well-deserved recognition of the significant contributions to the bourbon industry. Also making it in, let's see here, we have, you guys know this person. You see the Michter's barrels behind her? You see the Michter's barrels? That is none other than Andrea Wilson. Andrea Marie Wilson, to be exact. She's played an integral role in the resurgence of American whiskey over the past 30 years. In her roles as Executive Vice President, General Manager, and Master of Maturation at Michter's Distillery, she has helped to produce some of the world's most acclaimed whiskeys. So congrats to her as well. And then last but certainly not least, we have this guy, who is the one, the only, Julian Van Winkle III, president of the Old Rip Van Winkle Distillery and the grandson of Julian Pappy Van Winkle, one of the most renowned figures in the history of bourbon. The Van Winkle brand is synonymous with high quality and luxury, and under Julian, through his guidance, it has become one of the most sought-after brands in the world. He also has a James Beard winner and has received numerous other awards and accolades. So congrats to all the Bourbon Hall of Fame award winners. And, I forgot one more guy here, this guy. This guy is the late Stephen Francis Thompson. He passed away in 2020. He was the president of Brown-Forman Distilleries and a founding member of the Kentucky Artisan Distillery. His work with small craft distilleries helped to shape the bourbon landscape as we know today. So for his Lifetime Achievement Award, he will be recognized for his dedication to quality and his commitment to preserving bourbon heritage. So congrats to all the inductees that made it in. Well-deserved. Congratulations. All right, let's get into some, I want that Sagamore. What's it? Master Drum, have you seen the upcoming Parker's Heritage? Sorry if I missed it during the TTB talk. Yeah, we talked about that last week. Just a double barrel, whiskey, which we've seen with other brands. I don't know. I think it's probably gonna be delicious, but I mean, Lux Row Distillers right down the road from Heaven Hill. They put out their Lux Row 12-year, double blend as well. So that's kind of what Parker's is doing. So if you can't get Parker's, just go down the road to Lux Row and pick up one of their 12-year double barrels. Basically the same shit. Not really the same. Well, actually, yeah, it might be the same shit. It's Heaven Hill. That's true. I just realized that. All right. Here we go. Let me throw on some tunes here just because I want to. So you get a little jazzy tonight because it's second chance night. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to retaste bourbons and whiskeys that I wasn't so crazy about, I guess, in the beginning when I first tasted them, or when I first tried them. So I think what I want to do now is let's start on the lighter side here. Let's go a little OKI Reserve. OKI Reserve, I did not give this a very favorable review. This is a blend of 8 to 10-year-old low rye bourbon. They're 21%. 3 to 8-year-old high rye bourbon, which is their 36%. 95.5 rye whiskey. A 9-year-old rye corn whiskey. I don't know what that means. Rye corn whiskey. Okay? And a 10-year-old light whiskey. I thought the blend on this felt disjointed. It felt, if I go back to my notes, it felt disjointed. It felt not. It felt a little flat on the palate. Just wasn't doing it for me. So, music is too loud. Turn the music down a bit. All right, a little bit too loud for audio. How's that? Oh yeah, now we're feeling it. Here we go. Jeff Winbush says, I retired at the end of the month and bought a $200 for Cullen at Parkside Bourbon Company. Call me a tater. I don't care. I've heard good things about the for Cullen, Jeff. So I can't say I've had that one yet, but I've heard good things about it. All right, much better. Let's go back to the OKI. This is an $80 bottle. On the nose, gingerbread, a lot of sweet. I really think that light whiskey punches through. Jeff Woodmush, again, thank you so much for the super chat, and congrats to retirement. If I don't see you before you retire, here's to that. Always a big deal. Craig Benfield, yes, Dave Pickerel is a Hall of Famer for sure. So distilled. So this is all MGP. All MGP distilled whiskey. There's the bottle. There it is. OKI Reserve. Let's try it again here. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to taste it. If I like it, the sign behind me. Of course it's not. Oh, there it goes. We'll go green. If I still don't like it, it's gonna go. Oh, this isn't even gonna cooperate with me tonight, is it? Oh, whatever. Man, it was working earlier. Son of a bitch. Oh, forget it. Damn technical difficulties. Whatever. Never mind. If I like it, I'll just tell you. Shit. You know what? I was kind of encouraged on the first sip because I'm like, oh, maybe it did get better. But second sip, it's still kind of giving me the same thing. I think it has sweetened up a bit. But a little airtime, I think, helped it a bit more. But yeah, on the palate, there's something missing. I'm not sure what it is. Got a little bit of funkiness to it, but there's something that's disconnected for me on the palate. It starts off great. Mid palate, it just kind of dies for me, and then the finish on it, it goes dry. It's a little bit drying. The finish is sweet. The finish isn't long enough for me either. It just, no. Second chance on the OKI. I don't think it's going to get a favorable opinion here, even on a second chance. Again, there's nothing wrong with it. It's, there are people that like this bottle, and I get it. It's an interesting blend. I don't know. There's just some for $80. I want more flavor out of it. I feel like something is holding it back. That's the way to say it. It's like I feel like that flavor is about to just burst, and then something pulls it back and holds it back a little bit, and then it goes from something I think is going to happen that's going to be real good, and then it just kind of goes a little bit flat and a little bit dry for me. I mean, I could see why people like this, but there's a lot better that's cheaper than this that's available. I mean, yeah, this just isn't, it's all right. As far as the second chance goes, do I give this a second chance? Is it going to end up being in my rotation? I'm going to buy a bottle for myself. This is not my bottle. This is a borrowed bottle. But to OKI reserve as a second chance.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Bye, OKI. Hopefully, the next blend will be a little bit better. But I'm not digging that one. Yeah, my thing doesn't want to change right now. All right, we're just gonna stay green, baby. We're just gonna stay green. All right. Next second chance bottle. We're gonna go. You know what? Let's. I don't want to go too high of proof yet. Let's go with this Redbreast Kentucky Oak Edition. So if you guys remember when I reviewed this, this is a 101 proof Irish whiskey from Redbreast, and these barrels were sourced from the Taylor family Elk Cave Farm in Kentucky, and hand-selected. They made these hand-selected barrels, finest casks of American oak that Redbreast could find. 100 proof. It's pure Redbreast in just Kentucky oak barrels. Now, Redbreast is known for using sherry in their maturation, sherry and ex-bourbon barrels normally, but they wanted to highlight just only Kentucky oak in this variant. So that's what this one is about. When I first tried it, I just I don't know. I think I don't know if it was me because I missed the sherry. I like the sherry and the bourbon influence together. Let's see here. Microphone. What is with this mic lately? Is that better, guys? Can you hear me now? Hear me a little better? Let's see here. Let me go to the settings. Audio. All right, that should be a little bit better. Okay. Let's see how this one is. Now this was a $100 bottle, so I'm just saying, for $100, this came off more tropical than I thought it would. For, you know, if anybody's ever had some really good aged Irish whiskeys. Oh, the music you think is doing the pixelating. Let's see here. All right, let me kill the music here. All right, I'm just gonna kill the music for now. All right. Oh, Donald Rance is back for the Irish whiskey. That's what. As soon as I say Irish whiskey, here comes Whiskey Yoda. You really get the barley note, the unmalted malted barley. I just get like all lemon and pineapple on this, honestly, and you get a little bit of the vanilla from the Kentucky oak, I think. Get a little bit of like I wouldn't say it's a dark chocolate, almost like a white chocolate. I don't think I get dark chocolate on this. All right, let's try this one again. Oh, this one could be changing my mind a little bit, at least on the first sip. It came off a little bit darker than I remember. Like I'm really getting like a toffee caramel like vibe to go along with like the pineapple. Again, I think a little bit of that like that super sweet white chocolate note. Eh, yeah, this is 101 proof, guys. 101 proof, non-age stated. I get a lot of almond on this. There's an almond. There's a big almond punch to the like almond characteristic as well. I don't know if it's good. I just don't like it at $100. I think that was my thing. Is what the Buse is loose. Jason Busey's here. JH, I would. That's probably the perfect way to put it. It reminds me of Powers John's Lane, but I don't think it gets close to Powers John's Lane. It's okay. I think I'm missing like that pot still spice. I mean, a little bit of it is there, but man, I think this really could have been a nice monster of a bourbon. It's just not. It's just not doing it for me. I will say it's gotten a little better, but I still think it's. I'm a little underwhelmed for what it is for the price point. I think John's Lane is kind of like that high, you know, the higher proof uh single pot still Irish whiskey that, you know, everybody needs to measure up to. And even though this is, you know, got some nice, you know, Kentucky bourbon flavors to it, I don't know. It's good. I honestly would still rather drink Kentucky. I would still rather drink the 12-year cask strength for the money over this any day of the week, honestly. So, yep. So that one, I'm not going to say it's a total fail for a second chance. I'll probably give it more of a mid-level. You know, if I'm going to do the Caesar thumbs up, thumb down, I'll kind of keep that one in the middle. When I first tried it, I probably was more leaning towards thumb down. I think it got a little bit better, but I'm still not a complete thumbs up on it. I still think it's missing something, and I think for the money, there's some better Irish whiskeys out there for what that is. So so far, really kind of 0 for 2 tonight. Not really doing it. John's Lane is older than that release. Yeah, that's also the same thing. John's Lane is a very, very small. What is it? 12 years old on the side of the can, Donald. That's what's funny about the John's Lane. They put a tiny little 12 on the side. That so it's a 12-year release, but like they made the number tiny. I don't understand why they did that. So yeah, 12 years old, right on the side of the can. It's like that big. It's like, dude, make that thing fucking huge. Let people know it's 12 years old. All right. Next one up. We're gonna get a little higher proof here. Actually, what's the proof on this one? All right, we're getting close to it. We're gonna give the birthday bourbon another shot. The Old Forester birthday bourbon. This is the sample that they sent me. I don't know. I When I reviewed this, I was you guys saw the review. I was pretty disappointed. Um, so on the nose, Old Forester. This is a 12-year-old Old Forester, I believe. From what I remember, 96 proof. Um, man, I get that Old Forester acetone nail polish remover note on this completely. And I always wonder, is that from the yeast? Is it from the heat cycling? Not really sure what it is. 96 proof on this one. Um, you get a lot of the oak on this, honestly. There's a good amount of oak on this nose. Chocolate. It's sweet. I mean, the nose comes off sweet, and I was really kind of, I was encouraged by the nose. I like the nose a lot. Maybe hints of that, the Old Forester banana, but it was just a really nice nose. All right, let's try here. Yes, I love the Lustau. Yeah, no, no. Oh man, how is that so bad? How did they release this shit? How is this? How is this crown a birthday bourbon in the eyes of Old Forester? It is flat. It is boring. It is woody. The best part of it is like this slight chocolate note, like this little combination of chocolate and oak you get on kind of the mid palate. But other than that, there is not a lot going on in this. Yeah, that still gets a big thumbs down. I I can give you probably 140 bourbons that are on the shelf available that are better than this. I'll give you a few. Four Roses single barrel, Four Roses small batch select, any of the Knob Creeks, Elijah Craig barrel proof. Fucking A, man. That is just, I'll fucking take Cooper's Craft over that. Early Times, Bottled and Bond, better than that. 1920, better than that. The Rebel or the Ezra cast strengths, the picks from Lux Row, better than that. Bardstown Bourbon Company Fusion, Discoveries, better than that. Smoke Wagons, better than that. I mean, it's not, it's crazy. It just boggles my mind. Like, how is that blended and be able to be crowned a birthday bourbon? It's almost like a joke. It's like, yeah, this is good enough. No, it's not. What the fuck you doing? No. See, that's the thing. I don't know if Jackie had her hand in this one. Judging on the flavor profile, I don't think she did. Because even though Jackie liked Old Forester at lower proof, her stuff always had a good amount of I don't know. There's a lot of aromatics to her whiskeys that she blended. Usually a good amount of flavor. Now, whether or not you like the flavor, that was up to you. But at least there was like a good punch of flavor. That is just so unbelievably muted and flat and what do you call it? It's only got like one or two dimensions to it. Like normally, like a birthday bourbon should be like multi-dimensional, have a lot of different ways it can go, layered in flavor, viscous, hefty, and that is the complete opposite, unfortunately. Um, yeah, I mean Adelio, I would think with the timing because they usually blend this way ahead of time. So maybe she did. Maybe she did have a. I would guess it. I said maybe no, but maybe she did because these usually get blended way ahead of time, and she really departed only what, a month or two after this release. So maybe she did. I don't know. I'll have to ask her next time if I chat with her. Like, did you have a hand in that birthday bourbon? Because I did not like it. I will tell you, Jackie's like it. All right. Next, this is a big one. This is a big one we're going in here, guys. We're going with the Masters Keep Wild Turkey 1. This is last year's Wild Turkey Masters Keep. You guys know I love me some Wild Turkey. I was highly disappointed in this release. Why is there a sticker on my shit? Get off there. All right. I liked it as a release. I did not like it as a Masters Keep. That was really my big issue with it. 101 proof. I'm trying to remember the stats for this one. Does it tell you here on the side? All right, yeah. 8 to 10-year-old whiskey. 8 to 10 years old, then selecting his own small batch of carefully aged 14-year-old whiskey. Eddie crafted these into one, and then it was toasted. So toasted. So a blend of 9, 10, and 14 year. I haven't gone back to this one in a while. It's been a minute since I had this. Again, I liked this as a turkey variant. I disliked it as a master's keep. That was really kind of my holdup because Russell's 13, which had 18, 19-year-old whiskey in the blend, um, was what? I mean, okay, we're talking retail. We're talking retail was what? A 60, 70, $80 whiskey for that. Then they were asking folks to pay 200 for this. I felt like it should have been reversed. Whatever was in that Russell's 13 should have been the master's keep, and this should have been the 60 to $70 release that Wild Turkey released. But that's not really what happened. I honestly think Campari was playing on the popularity of the toasted craze that was happening within whiskey. They brought this out, and here it is. And they knew people would gobble it up, no pun intended, because it's a toasted variant of Wild Turkey, and they've never done a toasted variant. And here we go. I'm saying variant a lot tonight. What's happening? All right. Old Forester needs to hire Nancy Fraley. Oh, everybody needs to hire Nancy Fraley. Honestly. Okay, let's go back into the nose on this one. Now, I remember loving the nose on this because it's just all toffee and butterscotchy, and it's still holding true. You get some of the toasted notes to it, but there's not, it's not like the marshmallow graham cracker bomb that you would expect from a toasted product. Mash and Drum, love this second chance ram segment. Oh, thanks, Richie. Yeah, this was I was kind of like trying to figure out what can I do this week, and because I was having so many disappointing whiskeys, I'm like, let's give him a second chance and see. Let's see how it goes. So Nancy should be running the country, says Wigmaster. I'm telling you, if everybody would just shut up and drink whiskey, there would be world peace. Come on, am I right? Everyone just shut the fuck up, stop complaining, and just drink whiskey together with friends. Get to know someone over a glass of whiskey. Everything would be good. Oh man, the nose is better than I remember. Actually, it smells good. It's got all the turkey profile that you want. A little extra butterscotch and toffee, and even something like that turkey creamsicle that I love so much. Jason, have you reviewed any of the Orphan Barrel whiskey? Says Rob Gaynor. Yeah, I actually have the Rhetoric up there, the 25 year, the Rhetoric 25 year, which I splurged and got, and I was not impressed with it. Some of them have been good. I really like the Barter House. The Lost Prophet is amazing. Obviously, that's I think old Stag whiskey, so old Stag bourbon. Yeah, there have been a few that I like. There's definitely been a few that I've liked, but probably more that I haven't been impressed with than ones that I have been impressed with. Honestly. All right. If everyone shut up and drank whiskey, we'd have it in one gigantic fist fight. Well, it depends on what kind of drunk you are, I guess. What kind of drunk you are? Do you get angry or do you just like love everybody? That's what happens when you drink. If folks get too far on the side of tipsy, I guess if you want to say it that way, it's are you a loving person or do you become kind of an angry person? I think it just depends. Oh yeah, drink and have a good time with your friends and loved ones. Exactly, Henry Turner. That's what it's about, man. All right, let's try this. This will be an interesting second chance because it's Wild Turkey. Do I love it? Do I go back to still not liking it? Let's see here. It's good. The first sip is good. As with any toasted whiskey, I think it needs time. But that's my first sip of it, and I can't. You can never go off of a first sip. Oh, oh wow, okay. You know what? The back half of this whiskey has gotten better. I'll give it that. The front half, though, is still a tad bit muted, and it doesn't have that wild turkey like punch that I want. It's just a little bit muted. But the back half of this whiskey, which I thought was lacking when I first tried it, has gotten better. And I think that's probably just from opening up a little bit. Yeah, you know what? To me, it's fine. I don't care. That is not a. All right. All right. You guys know I love turkey. That is not a $200 bottle of turkey. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That is not a $200 bottle of wild turkey. It's not. It's not. I've had Russell's Reserve single barrel store picks that beat the shit out of that. I mean, it's not even close. This is okay. This to me, for the first time, I think this is why it was so disappointing to me, is because this was a marketing bottle for me for Wild Turkey. And I don't blame Wild Turkey. I really kind of more blame Campari for that. They were playing on the toast, you know, on the toasted craze. Like, oh, we've never toasted a turkey before. Let's try a toast. This is not a master's keep. I'm sorry. I don't like this trend now where things are going into trends rather than what the limited releases should be. And maybe this was kind of the start of it for me. Because it was disappointing. This year I'm looking really forward to the Master's Keep, that Burai that's going to be coming out, the bourbon and rye blend, that Bruce Russell had a big hand in it. And I mean, wow. No, I don't think it's $175 good at all. Um, yeah, no, I can't. I can't give it a thumbs up because I just think that is not up to. I mean, shit. I mean, I'll take a. Look at this. I'm so happy I have my Wild Turkey barrel back there now. This is a single barrel Russell's Reserve pick, a Camp Nelson A. I'm gonna tell you guys this shit right now. This is gonna beat the shit. Oh my god! Even on the nose, it crushes it. That's that is a Wild Turkey. This is a marketing bottle. Not night 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 night. Not even close. I'm still not a fan of the Master's Keep one. I'm just not a fan. Is it good? Yeah. Is it sweet? Yeah. Is it a nice, different turkey profile? Yeah. But it's not a Master's Keep. I don't care what anybody says. That is not a representation of what wild turkey should be. It's fine. I might literally like getting like pissed off right now because of that bottle. It just because I love wild turkey so much and I respect the brand that bottle it just rubs me the wrong way. God, this Russell's pick crushes this Masters Keep one. Again, the Masters Keep one just gets into like this profile where it's sweeter and just it's fine. But the pick just crushes it. Yeah. Sorry. Wild Turkey Masters Keep one still gets a thumb down for me. Yep. I mean, maybe the toast tastes away the funk a little bit, Todd. I don't know what it is. Maybe the toast just kind of killed some of the aspects of wild turkey that I love. Um, do you like any of the Master's Keeps range? Yeah, absolutely. I don't think all are overpriced. I mean, the Bottled and Bond 17 year is one of my favorites. The Master's Keep Revival is probably one of the most underrated, non-talked about Master's Keeps in the lineup. Probably one of my favorites. Cornerstone, I think, doesn't get talked about enough because it's a rye, not a bourbon. Decades, I think, is delicious, but you really have to like oak, and it's a little bit on the lower proof side. But as far as like my favorites, that 17-year bottle and bond and revival are kind of my top one and two, and that can reverse any day of the week. It's got the proof, it's got the flavor, it's got the punch, and it still has that turkey DNA that I love. The finish on that Russell's pick is still going, and I was not getting that from the Master's Keep. Yeah, I mean, Learman 2001. You make a good point. It's about the store picks, and and maybe that's kind of skewed my judgment a little bit. I'm very fortunate because of a lot of you out there, and because of the supporters of the channel. I get to do a lot of these great store picks. Well, not store picks, but just barrel picks in general. Barrel picks for the channel. And when you get to try a lot of these barrels, you just get to see just how much fucking good whiskey there is. And you don't have to get a special release to get it. A lot of the special releases, you just kind of realize you know, I mean, I think some special releases still, are special. And people, I think they do hold some, a certain, you know, uh, there's a certain standard to them that people follow, and I think that like the Heaven Hill 17 year, I think that they really worked hard on making that a very special bourbon, and it is. I just don't think there's enough of that, in today's market. So I'm really looking forward again to the Masters Keep for this year. I think that one's going to be really good. I have a lot of high hopes for it. I hope I don't build it up too much in my head, but yeah, I think the group picks are really the way to go. If you want something interesting, you want something that's gonna just kind of be different and blow your palate away, and it's really about the barrel picks. That's really where it's gone. All right, actually, before I do that one, I'm gonna go back to this one. So we were talking about Bardstown Bourbon Company earlier. This is their Discovery Series number 8. Now their number 9 is coming out soon, but the number 8 was kind of a confusing whiskey for me because not only does it have a crazy mash bill, but it also has a wealth of different finishes that are part of this whiskey as well. I'm not going to go through all the finishes again and scan the QR code and look it up, but there's a lot of different stay finishes they do to this one, a la Maker's Mark, what they do with their Private Select series. So this one was kind of like a little bit all over the place when I first tried it. It has gotten some airtime. It's past the shoulder. I wanted to kind of dive back into. It's not that I didn't like it. I did like the whiskey. I did like this blend, but it was a little bit all over the place for me. I wanted it to be a little bit more direct, and every time I went to it, there was a little bit something else I was finding, which is sometimes a really good thing, and sometimes it's not such a good thing. It really depends on what you find. This was going to be really dependent on your palate. This is one of those whiskeys that I can tell you what I taste, but until you try it on your own, because there's so much going on in it, it's hard to it's hard to like guide you in a certain way because I think this is very palate specific. So let's go to this one here. I think the nose has gotten better on this one a little bit. It's a little bit more direct. Man, I get a lot of caramel apple on this. A little bit of like a bright maraschino cherry on this as well. It's very oak forward. I think that's the one thing you could say. I think the two aspects of this that I got was oak forward and spicy, especially on the palate. Let's see what we get on the palate here. What has changed in this for me is the corn whiskey. I think it's coming through at a little bit more of a stronger clip here. The corn whiskey is bringing a lot more sweetness, a little bit more powdered sugar to go along with the oak and the spice. So I still think it's bringing a nice balance. What's up, Ron? Oh, Ron Miles, of course, he's watching. Um, man, I think it has gotten a little better. It's gotten a little bit more direct, which I wanted. Is it one of the better Discovery series I've had? I don't think so. I still might like 6 over this, and I think I definitely like 5 over this. Oh wait, it was 5? Maybe it wasn't 5. I'm thinking 4. No, 5 was the flat one. 4 I liked. 3 I loved. I might have to do another blind tasting of all the Discovery series again. Maybe I'll do that next week. That might be fun to do. I think this one got a little bit better. I'm not going to give it a full thumbs up, but I might uptick it a little bit, just like I did with the red breast. I'll give it a little bit of an uptick. Yeah, it's oaky, it's spicy. It's definitely gotten sweeter. Definitely gotten sweeter. Was 5 the first with a Dickel in it, or was that? Oh, I don't even remember. Maybe it was 5. I think it was 5. Yeah, 5 was the first one I think with the Dickel in it, and that one just came off flat. Um, yeah, 4 ended up being my favorite, and 4 was the one with that tote whiskey in it, that 15-year-old tote whiskey that everybody was gobbling up at the time. All right, last but not least, Larceny A122 barrel proof. I was not a fan of this when I first tried it. I thought I got back to the old Larceny where it was, kind of getting to like a younger whiskey, you know. It just was like all Cracker Jack and peanut, and it really wasn't giving me that feeling of like a really good weeded bourbon. Um, Jason, you should dress like Joaquin Phoenix and Gladiator and do a thumbs up or thumbs down. Have the whiskeys battle it out. I like that one. Yeah. Drums and Dram says Dickel tends to flatten out blends. Case in point, Labad Batch 2. Oh, maybe Drums and Drams are giving a little bit of a preview to his Labad review, saying it flattens it out a little bit. I don't know if that's true necessarily because I think 6 was kind of a flavor bomb that had Dickel in it. I don't know, but I can't say anything until I try it myself. I forgot who it was. Somebody said early on that the new Chateau de Labad actually brings some really great flavors on the palate. It's a little bit short on the finish though, so I judge a lot of whiskeys on a good finish. So we'll see what happens. What's the proof on the Chateau de Labad? Ron Miles. What was the? If I was the first sticker, Ron, what's the proof on the Chateau de Labad? I don't remember offhand. Yeah, A122. It just drinks like a young Heaven Hill, peanutty, cracker jacky whiskey. I don't like it. I don't like it. Did the Mets end up fucking losing, these assholes. Um, Jesus freaking. The Mets lost 6-3. Are you fucking kidding me? At least San Francisco won. They beat Atlanta 4-1. Jesus, what is wrong with the fucking Mets? Sorry, guys. I just have to look at the scores and be ultra disappointed that the Mets are playing like shit all of a sudden. 107 proof on the Chateau de Labad. Okay. Proof has nothing to do with the fact that that Chateau de la Barre with Dickel is a bust. Drums and drams. Dude, Cam, that's fighting words. You're saying Chateau de la Barre with Dickel is a bust? Okay. I, you know, I know drums. Cam and I have disagreed on some whiskeys, but those are some strong words, dude. All right, but here's the thing, Cam, and I'll say this to anybody that gets their hands on Chateau de la Barre. If you were lucky enough to get the first one, MGP 12-year cask strength finish in those casks, you have to get that out of your mind, and I think that's going to be the issue with a lot of people because MGP 12-year-old cask strength just not going to come around anymore. So if you're comparing it in your head to the Chateau de la Barre of old, it's it's going to be apples and oranges. You can't. I don't know, Cam. I don't know if that's what you're thinking. It's because you had that one, and then you're measuring it up to the first one, and that's why this one's disappointing to you. I think you really have to because the blend is so different and so unique. You have to judge each one on its own. Obviously, Chateau de la Barre, the first one, might be the greatest finished whiskey ever. So for the second one to come out with some Dickel in it, the different blend, some of the Kentucky whiskey that's in there, Kentucky whiskey that I know I'm a fan of. I won't say what it is, but there's gonna be a lot of difference there. So I don't think like when I plan on doing the review for Chateau de la Barre when I finally get a bottle, I don't even want to compare it to the first one because I just don't think it's going to be a fair comparison, honestly. So, yeah, the first Chateau de la Barre might have been the greatest finished whiskey ever. Besides some of the, I would put it right up there with some of the best Joseph Magnuses I've had um, from Nancy Fraley. Honestly, it's that good. Um, bro, let's just duke it out on a stream. Well, I mean, you want to go Chateau de la Barre original versus the new one? I don't still think that's going to be a fair comparison, dude. But if you want, Cam, you know, I'll arm wrestle you if you want. I got you all day right here. I'll arm wrestle the shit out of you. Master Drum Halloween costume idea for you. 10/20 live stream. You as Neil Peart on the back cover of 2112. Oh, I like that, Alan. I do like that. Although an Italian, I don't think I'm gonna, I don't know if I could pull that off, but I might try. Opinion on Old Grandad 114. I think Old Grandad 114 is one of the best budget bourbons available on the market. I do think that it's an acquired taste. If you like a lot of citrus, if you like a lot of spice, if you like proof, you like a little bit of that Jim Beam nuttiness, you'll love Old Grandad 114. But there are people that I know that completely dislike it because of that flavor profile. So a lot of folks seem to have gotten upset about the announcement of Nelson Brothers Honey Cask. Yes, Young Pei Chang. That's a really good point. And I think that because they sourced it and they're paying a super high premium for it, it's getting a lot of, I guess, bad press, unfortunately. And I think I saw some people writing in the Instagram post like, "Are you kidding me? For that price, it's not even yours." And I think Nelson replied with, "Well, I didn't say you had to buy it," which is kind of a shitty way to reply. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think that that was a lot of money for it? I think 48 Kelvin 4 is the best finished whiskey ever, says Kim S. Okay. Maybe it'd be different now if they made another batch. Um, my latest apology was a little grainy on the finish. So that's the note, Mark, that old GD 114 can get a little youthful sometimes depending on the batch. It can come off youthful and grainy. And I think that's the big difference between some of them that are out and others that you could try. Like I've had one that's very grainy and I've had ones that's very like citrus forward. I think it really depends on which one you get. Unfortunately, Beam for me has been very inconsistent as of late. Three chord has a honey cask single barrel pick. Yes. Is this still going? Cheers, everyone. What's up, Bubble Bath? I'm about to sign off, Bubble Bath. It's already over. It's always over my my thing here. Wasn't it always source? So they dropped Elmine and are calling it Nelson. Yeah, basically. Um, for a while, I couldn't find 114. Now it's always on the shelf. Well, that's because it got super popular after. I think didn't Fred Minnick crown it some big award. I think I called it out. It won some big blind for me. Then it kind of disappeared, and I think the production has kind of caught up with it now because it is a young whiskey. So, is anyone? What does it say? Is anyone still standing for Beam at this point? I'm not sure. My last one was so citrus forward. I liked it. I just opened up last week. Let's see how it evolves in a week or two. All right, guys. So to finish off tonight, give me one more head-to-head to do, one live head-to-head. Anyone throw it out here in the stream? One more live head-to-head before we call it a night. What do you got? I've been redoing my whiskey room. I've been building a bunker, guys. I have a whiskey bunker now. Pretty cool. Right now, I've had bottles all over the floor in my whiskey room. I couldn't fucking walk. I have built a bunker in my in one of my storage rooms now, with shelves and hooks and wires so my fucking shit doesn't fall over. And I have a bunker now, so I'm really excited. I have a bunker. I'm working on it, so I have bottles everywhere. So, what do you guys got here? What do you guys got? Brothers Bond Barrel Strength just showed up in California. I heard about that one. Found North versus Old Carter. That's kind of a good one. Oh, Houdini versus the Goat. Oh, you know what, OH? I would do that, but I don't have the Goat down here. You know what? Maybe I'll do a Patreon only stream right after this, and then maybe I'll do it. Yes, floor whiskey. Evan Williams White Label versus Birthday Bourbon. Kind of like that idea. Michter's 10 versus Sagamore Double Oak. Okay. Black Velvet versus Caribou. I don't even have a Caribou Crossing, dude. Mellow Corn versus The Field. 4814 versus 4814. Do a battle between two Tennessee whiskeys. You know what? Let me do this. Let me do the. I'll do Birthday Bourbon, and I'm gonna put it against something available. So let's do Old Forester Birthday. You know what? Let's do Old Forester Birthday Bourbon just against early times and see what happens. I'm curious. So, you know what? No, not even early times. Cooper's Craft. That's what I'm doing right now. That's what I'm doing. All right, let's grab it. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, I need two fresh glasses. Grab these two. So fresh, so fresh. All right, let's get these two glasses here. So, birthday bourbon. This should be fun. Versus Cooper's Craft. That's right, guys. It's happening. This is happening right now. All right. 96 proof Old Forester birthday bourbon, 12 years old. Cooper's Craft, 100 proof. Chiseled, charred barrels. It's an ode to the Coopers at Brown Forman that have their own cooperage. See what we get. Oh, guys. Oh, guys. This is crazy. Oh, God. Cooper's Craft. Cooper's Craft is so good for the money. $30. So the Old Forester definitely brings you more oak, more chocolate, a little bit more depth of the nose, a little bit of sweeter flavors. The Cooper's Craft, though, It's sweeter. It's definitely sweeter. You're not going to get as much oak in this, but there's a little bit of a smoke note to Cooper's Craft, which I love. I think it's from that extra barrel char, the char and the chisel that they do. A lot of vanilla in Cooper's Craft to me. None of the banana that you would get from a regular Brown Forman product. All right, hang on, Mr. Cooper. Here we go. Honestly, that's a little too close. So honestly, this is how it falls for me. The birthday bourbon definitely has more oak, a little bit more depth. There's definitely some more aged bourbon notes you're getting in the Old Forester, which is really the only way I could describe it. The chocolate, the oak, a lot of vanilla, some heavy caramel there too. The Cooper's Craft, though, on the other hand, you're not getting the aged notes that you're getting from the birthday bourbon. It's definitely lighter and brighter, which is what you come to expect. But the spice and the flavor on the Cooper's Craft, I think, is more potent than the birthday bourbon. The birthday bourbon comes off like I've been saying, it's just a little bit flat, a little bit muted. The Cooper's Craft brings more flavor. So it's more flavor, but it's not as much depth as the birthday bourbon. So that's how you have to kind of balance it out. Um, the birthday bourbon, listen, definitely has more depth to it, but the Cooper's Craft has more punch of flavor to it, and also a longer finish. The birthday bourbon's finish just kind of dies. It's crazy. The finish and the back end of both whiskeys isn't even close. The Cooper's Craft kills the birthday bourbon on the finish, and that's sad. I'm actually not happy. I'm kind of sad about it because that shouldn't happen with a birthday bourbon. So, if you guys missed out on birthday bourbon, just go buy a fucking Cooper's Craft. All right. That's how we're going to end the show tonight. Guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the support. Hit the like button on the way out. Keep an eye out for my full Little Book Chapter 6 review coming soon. And as I always say, it's not about the whiskeys, the people you share it with. Cheers. Cheers to Whiskey Tube. Subscribe to everyone. Love all you guys. And I'll see you very, very soon. I can't remember if I said it already. It's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share it with. Cheers. I'm going to have some more Cooper's Craft. Take care, everybody.